It is a couple of days after Christmas 2025 and the year of our Lord. And it can be a festive time for a lot of folks, but for many, it can also be a down in the dumps time because of the pink slips that come around this time of the year, the layoffs, the announcements of it. And knowing that many folks in corporate America are taking a brain vacation, probably at least until King Holiday, in some cases maybe even early February before they get back into the swing of things. So you could be submitting resumes and maybe getting interviews, but maybe not landing for a while. I've been there. Over the course of my career, I probably worked maybe 10 months a year over the course of it, with all of the times I've had been laid off or had job insecurity. And because of that, that's why this particular video I'm going to share today by Dave Ramsey hits home so well. I think some of you who have experienced this or know someone who has are really going to appreciate what he has to say about this. And I align it with some of the things that he's going to say about corporate America and how they treat their employees, or how I think nations, my nation, the United States, ought to treat its citizens. So listen to and watch what Dave has to say in this video that he titles, This is Why Corporate America Sucks. And he's talking about layoffs in particular. Let's take a look.
Over 54% of our GDP in America, all goods and services are created by businesses 2 to 500 team members. Small business. You are the backbone of the economy. For that matter, you are the freaking economy. So that's the way this works. We love you. We're one of you. This place, Ramsey, grew up that way. We think that way. It's who we are. We start these businesses because we like our independence. And many people start a business because corporate America pooped on them. And they used all of that manure as fertilizer to start the next business. They used all of that anger and rejection to start their next business and said, I'll show you. Not unusual at all for somebody that's had a negative experience with corporate America. Now, let me define for you when we say corporate America around Ramsey and around EntreLeadership what we mean. It has nothing to do with size. It has to do with you're concerned only about stock price, and you piss on your employees and your customers. And you're everywhere out there. You can do that, by the way, when you got 10 people, but you can do it when you got 100,000 people too. And corporate America is concerned about one thing, and that's their own deal. There's a certain level of greed to it, and I've got no love for corporate America. The other thing we see with corporate America is that if they want to increase profits, and you've got a huge workforce, an easy way to short-term, and it is a short-term play, to increase profits is cut your biggest line item, which is payroll. Next quarter, your profits will go up and your stock price will go up. So basically, you're trading, when you fire people, you lay people off, you put them on the street, their dreams are crushed, their house is in foreclosure, they're panicking, they're scared, but you got your profits up. You suck. That's absolutely unethical. And it's also very short-sighted because as soon as you want to grow your little business again, you've got to rehire those people that you sacrificed on the altar of stock price, or somebody like them, and somebody dumb enough to walk in your doors and work for you again after you pissed on the last bunch. It's out of control. It's going on out there big time right now. Yahoo announced February 9th, 20% of its staff.
As you can see, this is from a couple of years ago, 2023, so some of these numbers are old, but you get the gist.
1,600 employees laid off. Affirm, if you don't know who that is, that's one of those stupid buy now, pay now later, like you can finance your T-shirt when you buy it on Amazon for Affirm, is reducing its staff by 19%, 500 employees shutting down its crypto unit. Zoom. How the crap is Zoom losing money? I mean, that's like during COVID, Zoom was like being in the plexiglass business. How did these people mess that up? 1,300 people laid off February 7th, 15% of its staff. Dell, 6,650 people laid off. SoFi, oh, I love these people. Oh, aren't they the sweetest people that screw you with their financial products? SoFi Technologies announced on, I guess that's part of SoFi, it has to be, right? On January 31st, it's cutting 65 jobs, 5% of its 1,300-person workforce. Good old PayPal, not your pal. 2,000 full-time team members laid off, 7% of its workforce, January 30th. January 23rd, Spotify, 6% of its global workforce, around 600 team members. Alphabet, Google, in other words, 12,000 employees. How is Google losing money? That's impossible. Microsoft, 10,000 employees laid off January 18th. Amazon, January 5th, 18,000 employees. Salesforce, oh, there's another one. 10% of its workforce, more than 7,000 employees laid off. Big tech coming to the rescue for you, America, putting you on the street. So let me tell you how small business does this. Small business loves their team. The good ones, anyway. And let me tell you, when COVID hit, we did at Ramsey, and I am bragging because it's called having values. It's called having principles, and the principles aren't, I'm going to increase my profits. Now, if you're actually losing money and you can't pay the bill, yeah, you got to lay people off. That happens in the real world. But this idea, I'm going to increase my profits by dumping 6,000 people in the street, guys, that's just unethical. So COVID hit, we lost like tens of millions of dollars of revenue instantaneously. The entire business segments evaporated here. We, of course, had, like everybody else, our team goes home for about 60 days, not long enough to suit some of you lefties, but our team went home for 60 days, and then, by God, we came back to work because we wanted to keep our jobs, me included. I didn't go home. I had my leadership team was here, 30 of us every day, trying to replace the lost revenues with new ideas temporarily during the quarantine garbage. And during this time, we weren't sure if our revenues were going to, if we're going to keep enough revenues to make payroll without hitting our without hitting our cash position. And we told the team very clearly as soon as we sent them home, here's what's going to happen. We've got this level of this. All of our live events just stopped, of course, right? Other stuff just stopped, of course. And we said, look, we're going to try to replace that revenue. We're all going to work together. You guys are working from home. We're all going to be, the leadership team's going to be in a war room in the office every day trying to figure this out. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep revenues up. And as long as we can keep enough revenue coming in and pay everybody, we're going to do that. If we can't, then we've got a pile of cash here, and we're going to start burning that cash. When the cash gets down to where there's almost none of it left, the first people to not get paid is going to be leadership. Then if that doesn't work and we don't turn it and somebody doesn't get paid, we're going to offer you guys the chance to not get paid for a while until we can turn this. But we will not be announcing layoffs today. And if we're going to announce a layoff, you're going to see it coming from 8 miles away because we simply do not have the money to pay the bill. That will be the only reason we do layoffs. We do not do layoffs here to increase our profits.
How often are you going to see that with these big companies? You like the way Dave thinks? I do.
We increase our profits by selling more stuff and helping more people. That's how you increase profits, you goobers. But instead, the bean counters are running these companies. And when the bean counter starts running the company, when the bean counters and the lawyers are running the company, that is the beginning of the end, baby. Because now all we're trying to do is keep Wall Street happy. We're trying to keep stock price up or artificially drive stock price up when our sales are down and we suck at running our business. And when you do that, it's an artificial thing. It's a temporary thing, and it's a Band-Aid on a leaking ship. And you are doing it on the backs of families. And small businesses run right doesn't do that. I mean, small businesses got 10 members, 50 team members. We know the husbands. We know the wives. We know their dog's name. We know their kid's name. We're not going to put those people on the street. We're going to take a hit first personally. I'm not going to make an extra $1 million at Ramsey that I take home and I lay people off so I can make an extra $1 million. That's just asinine. And it's
An extra million. I'm still trying to make the first million. Anyway.
wrong. And I don't know if anybody said this lately, but I just said it right out there on podcast land. So somebody needs to say it. So here's the thing. Those of you that got screwed by corporate America, here's a plan. Go talk to small business people. Most of them are going to treat you right. Most of them are going to treat you like family. And well, I don't know if they have the benefits package. Let me give you a benefit. They're not going to screw you for profit. That's a benefit. You just got your benefit. Your dadgum check's going to clear and you're not going to get laid off so they can line their pockets. That's a benefit. Now, again, if you're running a business, large or small, I am not talking about you if you don't have the money to pay the bill. I'm not talking, but that's different than I'm going to increase profits by slicing the heads off my team. It's appalling that we walk around and no one says, and it's standard practice. I mean, the names I just read off are all household names.
Yeah, and because of the experiences I've had with none of the names he mentioned, but some high-profile names, I don't want to work for them ever again. I'm not sure I want to work for any company that's publicly listed ever again.
This is standard freaking practice in the corporate America crap. But so, guys, if you're listening to this and you're looking for a job, this is the reason you ought to go to small business. The small business will take care of you. Now, not 100% of small business people are good people, but more of them than these corporate jubes, for sure. I mean, because we in small business do not have a track record of doing this crap right here. We don't have a track record of making our money off the backs of layoffs. We have a track record of making our money off of doing our job. If it's heat and air, we're going to put in some more heat and air. That's where we get money. It's not from laying off the techs and then wonder why we can't get the tech work done. Oh, my God. It's so stupid. It's so short-sighted. And it's so unethical. So, guys, that's how it works. If you're looking for a position, oh, and by the way, if you're a small business guy and you're trying to recruit, don't be intimidated by like, oh, they're looking over at Google. Google offers, they have a Skittle ball in their playroom. Kiss my, that's just ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
I love Dave. I'm going to miss when he's no longer on the show. He's cleverly trained all these other personalities to have an audience so that he is only, I mean, at one point when he had all these other personalities, he was still 50% or more of the draw to the program. Now he says it's less than that. It's probably less than 10%. I think I heard him in an interview, but I just love how raw and straight to the point he is.
That's crazy, y'all. You're going to go play, and then the first thing that comes up, they're going to cut your dadgum head off, man, and you're going to be looking for a job. So don't be intimidated if you're trying to hire a good, talented person and corporate America wants to steal them. Just tell them, don't trade Skittleball for real people that care about you. You have the opportunity, your brand differentiation when you're hiring as a small business person, your brand differentiator is you care, and the first sign of trouble, you're not going to cut their throat. You're going to take the hit because you brought them in because you needed them. You wouldn't have hired somebody if you didn't need them. But corporate America just takes bodies in and bodies out, bodies in and bodies out, as if there's not people's lives attached to those things. Those people have children. They've got house payments. They're going to be scared to death. You ever been fired? You ever been laid off? It's not easy. And these people treat that like it's just nothing. Like you're dadgum commodities. You're not a commodity. You're a team member when you work for a small business. That's how this stuff works. This is an ethics question, America. And it's one we need to be asking more and more often.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I look back on the many organizations I've worked with, and the ones that were not listed, that were not household names, I likely did have a better relationship with, including the one I'm working with now. I'm not an employee of anyone. I'm, by tax purposes, a sole proprietor. And I wasn't expecting this at all, but I have basically one client. And that client has multiple clients, but the main one they want me to support is where the money's coming from right now. And I was happy with the deal that we have. I wasn't expecting what came this week, but I got a Christmas bonus from my one client. If I mention the name of the organization, that client, you likely never would have heard of them. So what Dave is saying is true. If you look at a total stock market index fund, it represents about 4,000 or fewer companies. So only about 4,000 companies in the U.S. are publicly traded. And not all of them are household names, but those are the publicly traded ones. Those are the ones that we hear about in the news. And those are the ones that college students at career fairs are looking to work with. Those are the ones who show up at career fairs, quite frankly. But starting your own thing or working for someone who started their own thing in this particular generation, I think that's where it's at. That's opportunity, especially for people who are older. I think small companies appreciate the broad spectrum of experience that a more seasoned employee can bring to the table. They want to make money, sure, but as Dave says, you want to make money by more sales. You want to make money by doing the work, not by seeing how much you can trim down the staff before the end of a particular quarter and then try to hire them again or hire somebody in the following quarter. People will remember. You think the folks who got laid off, right? Laid off at Amazon right before Christmas. This is a place that does a lot of retail business at Christmas time. You think they want to work with them? This is your first time checking me out. Please consider hitting the thumbs up button and subscribing and maybe leaving a comment. I appreciate the folks who have tuned in, all the comments that you've contributed, the thumbs ups and the subscriptions. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.